How we doing? Good. All right. Let's have some fun. Let's get into it. Who goes first? I want to know.
Well, you haven't had, like... Of course. Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Oh, well, I can ask this normal, because that's my normal question, too. What are you excited about the fans to see coming out in Season 3? Season 4, oh my god.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm still like stuck in Season 3 a little bit, too. Season 4 in particular... there was an episode I was able to craft with Jeff Johns this season, which I'm really excited on. I kind of created the arc and the outline with him, and then he fleshed out the pages, and there were so few notes I had to give because he just stuck to that initial conversation that we had, and he didn't try to take it in his own direction like sometimes creatives do. He really honored the ideas and the basis of the story that I was trying to tell, and that is going to be a nice kind of standalone piece for Garfield, for Beast Boy. We get a better understanding of why he is the way he is, who he really is, and getting some backstory that actually informs his current positioning and how he might be able to help the team in the kind of dire situation that this season puts us in, which is on a slightly larger scale than previous seasons.
I have a question in terms of what the character went through in last season and the experiments that they did on him, and you tagged into his violent side and all that. It all comes together at the end, but how does that evolve in this season?
I'm glad you asked that because I don't know if fans will catch it, but there is a moment later in the season where somebody from Gar's past shows up, and in that interaction I wanted to show that he was not fully healed from that trauma that this individual caused him by repeating a physical action that became a tick of his post that trauma. And I was very deliberate in keeping that tick absent throughout the season, and I actually didn't know that this person would be coming back until later. So when they did, it was perfect, because then I was able to really highlight that tick and be like, no, the trauma is still there. He's grown as an individual, and that resentment is no longer there. But the physical implications of what happened to him still are there. So that for me as an actor, that was one of the first times I was like, oh man, I made a physical choice that like has multi-season like value and payoff. Like, yeah. So I don't have many of those moments. So that was the first time I was like, yes.
Thank you for the answer.
Can you talk anything about Gar finally, getting his long time coming suit this season?
Yeah.
Everybody's so excited for it.
Sure. I mean, my counter argument, I've been waiting for a suit as well, but my counter argument is he's never really in a suit to begin with, because we always almost want to see him as an animal, almost all the time, or whatever, celled organism that he can become, right? Because he can become anything at this point. The suit is phenomenal. That's what I'll say. The suit is phenomenal. LJ and Super Suit's team, they did a phenomenal job. Every member of the team was responsible for a different portion and piece of the suit. LJ has been doing Super Suits for 15 years now, I believe. I don't want to misspeak, but every little trick that they've learned from every project, from Titans, from The Boys, from Iron Man, from like everything she's touched. I mean, even Elf, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of the knowledge, the prestige, the ability of that team goes into this suit, and I think it looks phenomenal. It functioned amazing. I wanted a suit that was functional for my fight scenes and for the physicality and the action, and they made sure that I was able to move in it. It was a little restricting, but where we padded the suit allowed me to actually be more physical and a bit more violent on my frame than I normally would be able to, where we're usually hiding pads in a jacket or trying to hide a pad in like a jean or a short, the suit was designed with action in mind, and I mean aesthetically, and it's beautiful. So Yeah.
Did you get to like kind of like suggest anything, like, hey, like any input?
Yeah, my favorite conversation I had about this suit, I was nitpicking here and there because LJ is a perfectionist, I'm a perfectionist, and they're like, oh, that waistline seems a half inch too high, and like literally the conversations would be down to half inches, but it informed a silhouette and a look that we were going for, kind of that silver/golden age of superhero suits meets modern textures and modern lines. So the suit is an homage to what we've seen in Wolfman and Perez, meeting some of the newer 52 colors. But the conversation that I had with her that I've been holding off is she asked me red and white or purple and black, and I went, you can't ask me that. I was like, because
You can't have best of both worlds.
no, you can't. And as a Teen Titans fan, I was like, I want that purple and black suit. But I went, no. Our show is honoring the Wolf and Perez era, you know. And I wanted to make sure that tonally everything we've done so far was honored, and we didn't just suddenly take a hard right turn into Teen Titans world, you know. I am always trying to suggest some Teen Titans storylines and sneak some stuff in there, but yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the red, black, white suit is the right choice. There's a bit of that T kind of shape in there. We kept the green paw, that's kind of embellished in there, and there's a fine detail on the suit where the Robin suit, the material, the fabric, the edging was tiny R's essentially, and mine are these tiny little paw prints that create this really interesting texture. That's a detail not everyone's going to be able to really notice unless they see the suit in person at like maybe New York Comic Con or on screen or in a close-up, but it's there, and yeah, we wanted the suit to have some serious payoff because people have been asking for a while.
I'm so excited to see it.
Just because you mentioned that you suggest some stories and things, you're obviously a fan of the comics. Are there any particular storylines or moments that you're pushing for that you'd like to see in the future episodes?
Yes, in Teen Titans, Gar becomes a tiny thing, and that might make its way into the show at some point. From the comics, there is a deep cut from the comics that I think true comic book fans are really going to appreciate. It's something that Jeff Johns and I dove into. He brought the knowledge. He kind of spearheaded the knowledge of the deep cut. I can't get into it, but it involves the animal kingdom. It involves Beast Boy, and it involves people like Beast Boy. And that is all I can say. But I'm very excited.
Can you share? Last question. Okay. Can you share anything that was like particularly challenging as an actor for you to, to tackle this season? And also, are you planning to stage dive at the panel?
Yeah, I know. I said that escalated really quick. That escalated
You gotta do it.
so quickly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You and Brendan.
Yeah. Oh, did Brendan say that too?
No, didn't he reply to you saying he's gonna twerk then?
No, did he? Oh,
I thought he was twerk because everyone was like going crazy. Was like, oh god.
if Brendan twerks, that will.
Then you gotta stage dive. What's the deal?
Yeah, we'll stage dive. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what that space is like from the stage, and I'll see how helpful the front row would be. You know, because if I'm diving onto 5-year-olds, I don't think that's gonna.
I got you. Yeah, listen, if you give me the look, you give me the look.
Yeah?
It's like, yeah, I got you.
Okay, what do you bench?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I will catch you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.